Hey, so welcome to week 10 of Good Luck Charlie. Sorry I'm not in a super good mood today. Just a lot of coronavirus stuff, which I'm going to wait to talk about in the next Good Charlie. Just kind of, like I said in the last video, talk about coronavirus stuff as it's happening in the Good Luck Charlies I'm covering from that week. So, but yeah. So week 10, Saturday, first day of spring break, right? And I wake up to go to the bathroom. It's 6 a.m. and I'm trying really hard to stay half asleep because 6 a.m. I could be up for the day if I didn't try really hard to stay sleepy. So I'm half asleep, and as soon as I walk out of the bathroom, I hear my one roommate, Alex, talking on the phone, and she's like, Alyssa, I need your help. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong, what's happening? And she's like, there's a huge centipede in my room. It's the size from my elbow to my fingertips. And I just go, I'm I still have sleep. I'm nope, goodbye, good night, I'm not dealing with that. And she's like, please, you have to help me. And she's banging on Paige's door, and Paige won't get up, of course. So then I see one, and I scream. And it's probably 5 or 6 inches long, and I was like, is that it? And it was hiding behind this bag of mulch because Maddie and Paige have potted plants. And that bag of mulch has just been sitting in our room all semester, just sitting out, not closed at all, which I hope didn't have anything to do with it. But yeah, she was like, no, that's just the baby. The one in my room is so big, you have to help me find it. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm not doing that. And so she was like, just help me get Brayden, which is our RA. So I don't know, that centipede was low-key big. So the one that I saw, so I was like, yeah, if there's a bigger one, I don't want that in our room. So we went to Brayden's room, and Alex knocked on the door for 2 minutes straight, and he didn't answer. And she was and I didn't bring my room key with me because she had hers, and she was not willing to go back to the room until we find someone to deal with this. And I'm trying to go back to sleep, okay? I'm half asleep here, people, still, and I don't know, I don't feel like dealing with this at all. So luckily Paige calls because she heard all the commotion, and I was like, Paige, I'm coming back to the room, open the door for me. So Alex is like, if you're going back, I'm going back. So we go back to the room, and Paige is keeping an eye on the centipede until we get back, and then she's done with that real quick. So Alex gets a bowl and puts it on top of the centipede, and puts a jar of Vaseline on top of that so that it doesn't move, the bowl, and it's in the bathroom at this point. And so we just leave it like that. I don't know. I went back to sleep. I couldn't take it anymore. So then Paige needed to go to the doctor, so we found an urgent care, did that. Then we went to Eggs and Things, this breakfast place that we've been wanting to try, and it was really, really good. Except, okay, listen, I don't like birds, okay? It's a fear of mine. Not really a fear, but I don't like them. And that's happened as I've gotten older. Just my whole shark thing has gotten worse. The bird thing, not into it. And so a bird came and flew up and started eating Paige's leftovers when we were done. I was and Paige was aw, and I was ew, and our waiter was right there, and I was you see the difference between the two reactions here? Yeah. So which is very interesting because Paige and I's personalities, it seems it would be the opposite. All other animals love, birds not so much. So after Eggs and Things, we just hung out in Waikiki, and no, I was gonna say it started raining pretty much every other day, but it didn't rain that day. But I was we had just gotten out of the water, and I was huddled under my blanket because I didn't want to put my clothes back on because they'd be wet, and like Waikiki's like pretty, I don't know, the part we were at, like depending on which like end of Waikiki, it can have like really fancy stores and stuff. So we like walk out from the beach, and just like the street we end up on, where I'm looking like I'm huddled up with my towel wrapped around me, walk right across from Balenciaga, like looking like a homeless person, but it's fine, okay? It was so embarrassing, whatever. So we go back to the car, come back, get showered, go to Target, and then I got Ashley a lei, and we picked Ashley up from the airport, and it was so exciting. And she had more energy than I was expecting, but she had Mountain Dew, classic. So Sunday, got up, it was raining a little bit, gave Ashley a tour of most of campus, and then went to Raising Cane's for lunch, because you know the girl loves her chicken. And then we came back here, changed our clothes, and I had work, so we took the bus to the Hilton Hawaiian Village. And then I like took Ashley out to like the lagoon area at the Hilton Hawaiian, and then got her set up on the beach, and then I left for work. And she just hung out at the beach while I was at work. And then during my break, the plan was for Paige to meet us at the ice cream place that we love, Lappert's. And so once Ashley came to the store, once it kind of got dark out, and looked around and kind of hung out with me in the store. And then Paige met us, and I went on my lunch, because if you work more than 6 hours, you have to take a 30-minute lunch. So I went on my lunch, and we went to Lappert's, and I tried the white chocolate macadamia nut ice cream, and it was so good. And I hate white chocolate, but I just kind of wanted to switch it up from my usual, and it was really good. And then what do we do next? Yeah, I guess I just went back to work, and Paige and Ashley hung out with me, and then before I knew it, my shift was over, and Paige drove us all home. And then Monday, so my mom had bought these bus tour tickets that included going to Pearl Harbor, and since she wasn't coming anymore, she gave them, because it was going to be my mom, Jenna, and I, so she gave the tickets to the three of us, which is really nice. And so the first thing they did, so we had to park at Ross in Waikiki. I don't know why, that's where they picked us up, but yeah, went to Waikiki, got on the bus. The tour was led by Cousin Nate. Aloha Pearl Harbor tour, if you're wondering which one we did. And then we went to this, like, the garage where the bus is kept, and we got Leonard's, which is malasadas, which are really, Leonard's is really famous here, so it's just like a fried donut. And I'm not a dough person, but those were really, really good, actually. And then after we had the malasadas and coffee in the random garage, then we went to Pearl Harbor. We were the first bus there. We were there so early. Yeah, so 5:30 in the morning is when this all started. I forgot if I already mentioned that. Yeah, so Pearl Harbor, really cool experience, really glad we were able to watch the video before visiting the Arizona Memorial, because it just made the whole experience way more meaningful. And then we went to the little museum sections after that, and there were baby ducklings there. They were so cute. Forgot about that. And then once it was time to meet back on the bus, we got back on the bus. Then they took us to Punch Bowl National Cemetery, and it was raining. And then we saw the Hawaii Five-0 buildings. And then it was the end of the tour. And then we found a Dunkin' Donuts that was open, so Ashley and I could get our Dunkin'. And then came back to the dorm, changed our clothes, and then went to the Botanical Gardens, Foster Botanical Gardens, and it was raining out, so that was too bad. But we still got some really pretty pictures in the rain. And then we went to Zippy's, which is like this, there's like a bakery in it, and also it's like kind of classic like Hawaiian lunch plates, but like fast food version, and it was pretty good. And then we all got a dessert from the bakery to go, and then we tried to start watching a movie, but I picked a terrible one, and we just couldn't do it. It's called The Clapper on Netflix. Maybe it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know. Don't recommend it. Never watch it. Had a good cast, so it really tricked us. Tuesday, we tried to go to the Dunkin' Donuts on campus, but it was closed. So we went to Starbucks instead, just Ashley and I, and it was raining. And Paige didn't really want to do anything because it was raining. We were going to try to do a hike with a waterfall, but it was just so cold. Like, we wouldn't even go in the waterfall, so what really is the point? And Ashley wasn't into it, so if she wasn't into it, you know, like, I was in no rush to do it, because I live here, so I could do it anytime. And then we went to Ala Moana, the mall, and they have like a hula show every day from 1 to 1:20, and Ashley wanted to do like a luau when she was here, but it's so expensive, so she was glad she got to see some hula dancing. And then we went shopping in Waikiki because we didn't really find any good souvenirs for her family. And then Dexter, my boss, said that I didn't have to come in on Wednesday because he heard I was trying to get my shift covered. So that was really nice, I guess, because work has been so slow and everything with all the virus stuff happening. So that was good news. And then we came back, got ready, got dressed up, and went to this place called La Mariana Sailing Club, which was really, really pretty. Took some pictures, had a really good dinner. That was like our big meal out. A little pricey compared to the other stuff, but we had been good about spending money up until that point. That Ashley had been there over spring break. So yeah, then we came back from dinner and prank called some people. Classic, right? Going back to the middle school days there. Then on Wednesday we got up early and it wasn't raining, so that was really exciting because you never know around here. It's like a 50% chance, so it wasn't raining at the time. Ashley and I took the bus, went surfing, which the waves were pretty rough for Waikiki, and then yeah, so that wasn't a super successful surfing day, but it was still fun. And then we went to Banan to get a snack. And then Paige picked us up and we drove to the North Shore, and it started raining on our way to the North Shore, but we still went to the food trucks, and they're like known for their shrimp, and Ashley loves shrimp, or scrimp as we call it. Don't make fun of us for that, thank you. And yeah, so it was still a good day. The drive up there is so pretty, so it was still worth it even though it was raining, because we tried to go to Sunset Beach to lay out for a little bit before we ate, but it just started raining, so we were like, forget it. But yeah, the food trucks were good, and then came back, booked skydiving for me, Paige, Maddie, and Maddie's boyfriend Mike. Oh, I was so excited to do that. It's on my bucket list, and I don't know, I just feel like here's the place to do it, now's the time to do it, because I don't know, I just feel like still in the US, so we still have those good safety precautions, safety measures in the US, and out of everywhere in the US, I feel like this is the prettiest place to do it. So that's why I wanted to do it while I was here. And I'm like super freaked out by it, and this semester is all about me pushing myself. So perfect. So I was really excited for that. And then me, Paige, and Ashley watched Step Brothers, and then took a break from that and went to the market and got some milkshakes, and then found out that day that classes were online for the rest of the semester. So that was a downer. I was really hoping they weren't going to do that. And the National Student Exchange also confirmed that we can stay living on campus. So that was good. At least I was a little worried about that. But yeah, that was a bummer just because, you know, we haven't had many cases here. So I just felt like Hawaii is following. It's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses, you know? Like, they're not, like, honestly, I kind of feel like Hawaii should be treated completely independently. Like, it's literally like its own country, like, to a certain extent. Like, obviously, in a lot of ways it's not, but just in terms of, like, spread and everything, the spread of it all, like, I don't know, I just was getting a little frustrated because at that point we had like, I don't know, 4 cases on Oahu or something. I was like, are you kidding? Like, there are barely any cases here. You don't need to react this way just because everyone else is doing it. Like, we haven't gotten there yet. We have not gotten to that point. Just wait, because, you know, it could take us weeks to get to the point where everyone else is at, and at that point the semester would be over. Like, why are you making the call so early? Anyways, I was getting frustrated. I know I probably sound really ignorant, but I was just getting frustrated because my big semester away is being tampered with. So Thursday, went to the gas station, and then we went to Bean About Town, this really good coffee place, and I got banana bread, which is kind of my new favorite food. Like, I really love banana bread a lot. And then we went to hike Makapu'u Trail so we could do the Makapu'u tide pools, because that's something Ashley really wanted to do. And the parks were closed. We found out all state and local parks are now closed because of the coronavirus. And so we ended up going to the Lookout, which was really, really pretty. But we didn't get to venture down to the tide pool, so that was really disappointing. And, like, I don't know. It's just, I got really frustrated when they closed the parks, because it's like, you can't go outside and be in nature like that. I don't know. Like, I get closing restaurants, I get closing gyms and movie theaters, but I don't know. Being out in nature, that was just really frustrating to hear that it's come to that. I'm like, seriously? Like, what are people supposed to do with themselves if they can't be outdoors? I mean, I know I'm being dramatic. Like, obviously, you can still walk around outside your house and in the city, but I don't know. It just felt very limiting. And it was really disappointing because, I don't know, I just feel like I've been really disappointed recently. Like, a lot of letdowns just between my family not coming anymore, and then the semester changing so drastically to being online. And then for spring break, I was supposed to go to Kauai with Paige, but that fell through because Paige's parents wouldn't let her go anymore. And then, but that got better because Ashley ended up visiting. And then, like, I haven't done nearly as much snorkeling or hiking as I would have wanted to do. And you're probably thinking, what have I been doing this whole time? Well, I've been going surfing. So I've been doing something I want to do, but just not those things. And so the whole plan after Paige canceled on Kauai was to go and do a bunch of, like, fun hikes and go snorkeling. And now it's like I can't even do that because basically everywhere around here is protected by a state or local park, you know? So it's just, like, really frustrating. And so after we went to the Makapu'u Lookout, sorry, that was my little tangent, we went to Aulani, the Disney hotel, where they kind of kicked us out of the chairs. But the beach is not their property. No one can own the beach. Okay. So we just laid on the sand a little further down, and it was fine. And that was good. It wasn't raining for a while. And the view was really pretty. These pretty rocks a little further down that we checked out. And then after Aulani, we went to Rainbow Drive-In, which I have been dying to go to. It's on my list of food places. Yeah, it's just like a classic staple, plate lunches, and it was so good. So much, it's like we got like the same thing, similar thing to Zippy's, but like a little more expensive. So worth the money. You have to go there. It's like amazing, and obviously it looks really cute because everything's a rainbow and there's Diamond Head in the back. So yeah, that was awesome. And then found out California was going into a lockdown, which was really disappointing because Mason was supposed to come visit, and now he can't. So that was really sad. Because that caused a lot of stress at first, Mason coming to visit, but I was actually really looking forward to it. And then we took Ashley to the airport, said goodbye, saw a pretty sunset on the way to the airport, and then just stayed in the rest of the night. Found out that the dining halls are going to be takeout only now. And so they're going to serve it for you and you can't touch anything, and then close your thing, and that'll be the new grab and go situation, kind of. And then Friday I had a doctor's appointment in the city, and then that took 3 hours. That was so frustrating because they were understaffed, because they were assuming most people wouldn't want to be out and about with the new rules. Oh, I forgot to mention that, the new rule. Okay, so it was the state parks, and then they just made the rule, I think that Friday, that it's going to be like all takeout now, restaurants and everything, and delivery. So yeah, I don't know, they were understaffed, assuming many people wouldn't be going out. But we went to Ono Seafood, which was another place on the list, for some poke. That one did not deserve the hype, if I'm being completely honest. I've had better poke. Fresh Catch has been my favorite so far. And then found out that skydiving, which was supposed to be Saturday, the next day, was canceled. The first day they're closing was the day we had reservations, and I was so disappointed. Like, I knew I'd get nervous, like, right before I did it and everything, but I was just so excited. Like, I just love challenging myself and crossing stuff off my bucket list, and that was something that, like, I've been working this semester, and that was pretty expensive, and I've been saving my money, spending my own money on that, and it's, like, pretty expensive. So I don't know, I was excited that I had saved for something that I really wanted to do. So that was a letdown. And then I FaceTimed with my family and some friends from home, and that was a little frustrating too, just because they don't understand kind of the way I'm feeling about all this coronavirus stuff. Like, yeah, they just don't understand. I feel like they're not letting me have my own feelings about it, because they're just like, how did you not see this coming? How did you not see this coming? Well, I saw it coming, obviously, because y'all are weeks more developed than we are with the coronavirus. Like, I've seen the way you guys have been reacting to it once it hits a certain point. But what I wasn't expecting is all of that to happen, like, 2 days to us, when we have not nearly as many cases as you do, not even a little fraction of the case. Like, I thought maybe, okay, 2 weeks from now, maybe they'll start closing, or like making food carry out, and then maybe a couple days or a week after that, and then they'll start closing, maybe like some beaches or something. I don't know. I just, like, wasn't expecting it to happen, like, all in the same week, like, all these new changes. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed. Like, I've seen the other states doing it, but I just wasn't expecting it, because our numbers weren't nearly close to what the other states' numbers are for, coronavirus cases. And so I just wasn't mentally prepared for it all to happen, like, 2 days apart from each other. I don't know, it's just very overwhelming, and, like, I just wanted to rant to them about it, but they weren't that accepting of it. And then I caught up on this website. So sorry this has been such a long Good Luck Charlie. I did touch on some coronavirus stuff, which I wanted to make a point to do just so everyone kind of knew where I was at and Hawaii was at. I do appreciate to an extent the proactive and aggressive approach Hawaii's taking. However, it is putting a damper on my semester. But obviously, everyone's safety is more important. But yeah, it's just like pretty extreme. It is very extreme, the measures that they've been taking. At the time, no community spread. Nothing was community spread yet, so that's good. That eased my nerves a lot too. But still, like, subconsciously, I could tell that I've been like washing my hands, and I'd feel so gross anytime I got back from anywhere. So I've been taking precautions even though it hasn't been community spread yet. Another thing is that my room has been so hot and humid, I guess because it's been raining so much the last week. So my room's been gross. I've literally had my air, the lowest it can go is 60, which I'm sure is not good for the AC unit. I think there's a red light on there, so I think maybe the filter needs to be changed, and that's kind of dangerous too, so I should probably put in a service request, but they're not very responsive with those. Maybe now that like barely anyone's still on campus, they'll be more quick. But yeah, I guess out of everything this week, without diving into the coronavirus portion of it, the centipede was a strong start to the week. So I guess what I would say is next time you have roommates that are super afraid of bugs and you're not super fond of them yourself, good luck, Charlie.